Welcome everybody for new live stream wrestling channel with
nothing.
Special guest animal political
series for £49 for assist, and we're off to Margate.
In a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we start for today's episode of SmackDown Live August of 2017. In a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we start with this episode today of SmackDown live stream, live reaction, watch party. I remember you the main event tonight, a huge main event, a #1 contenders matchup between Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton. It's so difficult to make a prediction for this match because I don't know if Randy Orton could be once again #1 contenders against Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship match, but everybody knows that the last #1 contenders match was between Nakamura and John Cena, and John Cena lost the match, and Nakamura wins against John Cena. Tonight, Nakamura collide with Randy Orton, the Viper. Could be the same scenario with Nakamura once again #1 contenders. Everybody remember the match, the bad matchup between Nakamura and Jinder Mahal on SummerSlam. But everybody remember many other bad matchups between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. I don't know, maybe could be a triple threat matchup. What is your prediction about this #1 contendership matchup? Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton tonight in this episode, today's episode of SmackDown Live. I think that maybe Nakamura could be the winner, but I'm not sure about that because Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal in this time, this feud on SummerSlam is not very good, was not very good. The match was forgettable. And also, I think that another match between Orton and Mahal is too much because everybody remember a long feud between these two on SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live deserve new storyline because in this time the storyline for SmackDown Live are bad storyline, not good storyline for SmackDown Live at this time. Maybe my opinion is that, in my opinion, it's so difficult tonight make a prediction about the main event, the #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. The winner will face Mahal, but I don't know what is the next #1 contenders for Jinder. Maybe could be Orton. I pick Nakamura. I think that I prefer because I prefer see once again a match between Nakamura and Mahal because we saw in the past too much match between Orton and Mahal, and now is the time to a new #1 contenders. But I don't know why there is this #1 contenders match between these two. I don't know. I'm thinking that it's not a good idea. I'm not very happy about this match, Orton versus Nakamura. Maybe Orton will be a heel, will be a turn in for Randy Orton. I don't know, but I'm confident about that. This match to me is not important to me. This match, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal, and I'm not a fan of. I don't like Randy Orton. Because I like his father. Carl Orton was an amazing legend in WWE when it was called the WWF. But Randy Orton is not one of my favorite. I prefer Nakamura than Randy Orton. But the match between Nakamura and Orton on SummerSlam was forgettable, was bad. And also last week we saw in the last week on SmackDown the main event, Nakamura and Orton together versus Rusev and Mahal, and after the victory of Orton and Nakamura, we saw Nakamura and Orton attacks Nakamura after the match. Looks like a turn heel of Randy Orton. Tonight, in this today episode, everything can happen about this match, because Orton, the Viper versus the King of Strong Style. In a few minutes, we start with our live stream, live reaction. Tonight, SmackDown Live is in Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. Venue in Sioux Falls. Denny Sanford Premier Center. The next challenger for Jinder Mahal's WWE Championship will be determined on SmackDown Live in this episode. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura clash in a huge first-time ever showdown. Who will earn the right to face the modern-day Maharaja, the Viper or the King of Strong Style? Everything will be tonight about this match, the main event of today's episode of SmackDown Live. The next challenger for Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship match will be determined in this main event. But both guys collide with Jinder Mahal in the past. Too much match between Orton and Mahal. I hope that this feud is closed, because we saw in the past, in many occasions, Mahal versus Orton, Mahal versus Orton. Stop, please. Stop. Therefore, I prefer that the winner will be Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura made a bad match with Jinder Mahal on SummerSlam, no questions about that. But I prefer see Nakamura as a winner of this match, because between Mahal and Nakamura we saw only a championship match, only one, and maybe Nakamura deserves a revenge. What is the good things about this match? Only one. I'm interested for this match for only one reason, and this reason is that it's the first time ever tonight that will be a match between Nakamura, the King of Strong Style, and the Viper. This is the first time ever with these two guys collide together, and this could be interesting. But I think that see once again Randy Orton against, if Randy Orton will be the winner, will not a good scenario, because we saw too much match between these two. I think that Jinder Mahal deserves a new challenger. In the roster of SmackDown Live, one of the one could be Nakamura, but if the future match between Nakamura and Mahal will be the same quality of match like we saw on SummerSlam, could be a disaster, because Mahal and Nakamura don't work very well together. In this time, I'm talking about especially for the match of SummerSlam between these two. And tonight, if Nakamura wins the match, maybe could be the same scenario in a title match between Nakamura and Mahal. But if win Randy Orton, we will be another match, another title match between Orton and Mahal. And this feud, I think, is too long in the past, too much match between Mahal and Orton. I think also that the last match we saw Orton versus Mahal was not a good match. Everybody remember this unfinished business between Orton and Mahal. I think that the perfect end of the feud between Orton and Mahal was on Battleground, with the great interference with the Giant's Great Khali. After, I think that the other match between Orton and Mahal was a worst idea of the writers of SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live, I think that in this time is the worst show in the WWE, because this show deserves another storyline. We saw many storylines with not good idea. This is my opinion about SmackDown Live in this time. There are great athletes, but everybody remember, for example, the match between Baron Corbin and John Cena, another worst moment of SmackDown Live roster on SummerSlam. Also, I remember the match between Randy Orton and Rusev, another match without a storyline. And I think that it's not a good idea makes a match without a storyline. The match between Orton and Rusev was a match without a storyline. My prediction for this main event tonight between Orton and Nakamura could be a win. Nakamura could be the winner because could be an interference of Rusev. I hope this, because Rusev and Randy Orton, Rusev has an unfinished business with Randy Orton, but between these two, there's not a true storyline. But I have another question for you. Randy Orton will be a heel, will be a turn in tonight for him. Everybody remember what just happened last week on SmackDown Live in the main event, when Orton, after his wins with Nakamura against Rusev and Mahal, made a brutal attack on his partner, his tag team partner Nakamura, likes a turn heel. Orton is a true snake. Everybody remember what just happened many months ago in the strange alliance between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt turned his back on Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Orton made the same thing last week with Nakamura. Nakamura and Orton in a tag team. Nakamura and Orton wins the match against Rusev, and Mahal, and after Orton attacks Nakamura. Tonight will be a number of contenders match between and Nakamura. I pick Nakamura for this match. In a few minutes we start with the live stream. We are live stream for this SmackDown Live episode. But I think it was also talking with you about the situation of SmackDown Live in general. because we have a good feud in this time between the Usos and the New Day. Good feud, good match between these two teams. But the other member of the roster deserve a better storyline. We saw, for example, a good match between Natalya and Naomi on SummerSlam. But last week, Naomi and Natalya, I think that Naomi deserve a rematch. Next week will be a rematch between Naomi and Natalya. But I don't know what just happened for the main event. I'm not sure that my prediction will be true because I picked Nakamura. Why I picked Nakamura? Not because I think that could be possible he wins, but because I think that I prefer that Nakamura will be the winner, because between Nakamura and Mahal was only a championship match on SummerSlam. Between Nakamura between Orton and Mahal, we saw in the past too much match. And now I hope that this feud between Mahal and Orton was ended. This is my opinion. Therefore, I prefer to see Nakamura tonight, winner of this #1 contenders match. In a few minutes, we start with our live stream with the first segment of SmackDown Live. Tonight, SmackDown Live is on Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. I don't know this city, Sioux Falls, but this is the city that where there is tonight SmackDown Live. I think that I hope that Nakamura will be the winner, the King's Own Strong style. But I don't know if it will be possible, because everybody remember the match of SummerSlam between Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. It was one of the worst matches that I see. I don't know why. When Nakamura on NXT was amazing. Nakamura on NXT is one of the best, huge charismatic. Yes, this is Hi Dog Denslow. This is Animal. Animal from the Legion of Doom, and also called the Road Warriors. Everybody remember. Yes, the Legion of Doom made an amazing match in the past. I prefer the Legion of Doom in the WWF in the 90s, when the Legion of Doom were the tag team champions. And everybody remember the match with Animal and his partner Hack. I show you once again these dolls, this Hasbro original figure of Animal of the Legion of Doom, one of the best of all time to me. Hall of Famer, because the Legion of Doom Road Warriors are the Hall of Famer in the WWE. About the Legion of Doom, I remember an amazing match, amazing feud between the Legion of Doom and the Money Incorporated, and DiBiase and Maurice. And also a feud that I love between the Legion of Doom versus the Natural Disasters, with a total combined weight of 853 pounds. In the Golden Era, everybody remember, huge super heavyweight, and everybody with charisma. In a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, maybe a few minutes, we start with the first segment of today's episode of SmackDown Live. Everybody remember the main event tonight, the #1 contendership match. The #1 contenders match of the night is the main event, Nakamura versus Randy Orton. My prediction, I tell you once again, and welcome everybody. Remember, you subscribe the channel for over 450 WWE videos on this channel every Tuesday. SmackDown live stream. Every Wednesday, NXT live stream. Every Monday, Raw live stream. Plus, live stream for every pay-per-views and NXT takeover and special review with the legend of the WWE with my dolls, my action figure. Today's on this channel, I shared a few hours ago a video with my custom figure of the huge King Kong Bundy. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe the channel for over 450 WWE videos plus many Diva Art compilation with the gorgeous, maybe the hottest diva on the WWE today, like Nikki Bella, Alexa Bliss. And now, in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we start with the today's episode of SmackDown Live. Few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to discover the opening of this episode of SmackDown Live, ladies and gentlemen. In a few minutes, I remember once again the main event. What is your, give me your prediction about the #1 contenders match? For you, what is your prediction? Will be the winner Nakamura or Randy Orton? Or what you prefer? What is your favorite of this match? Orton or the King of Strong Style? What is your favorite winner of this match? Orton or Nakamura? I have a question for you. I'm down live stream on this channel. In a few minutes, listen, a few seconds maybe. I hope a few seconds. Here we go. There, now, forever, the WWE. The opening content is the video promo about the wins, the big wins of Orton and Nakamura last week. Smiles and an RKO by Randy Orton on Nakamura. Tonight, Randy Orton
two of the biggest superstars in WWE collide.
Nakamura collide with Randy Orton. This is the promo, the opening promo.
WWE Championship opportunity at Hell in a Cell against Jinder Mahal.
Hell in a Cell against Jinder Mahal is the next SmackDown pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell.
Opportunity awaits tonight. We welcome you to SmackDown Live.
Welcome to SmackDown Live.
So welcome in. I'm Tom Phillips along with Byron Saxon, and as many of you might have known, John Layfield is extremely active and proud of his Beyond Rugby charity that helps underprivileged kids. And it is as that charity has expanded, John has decided to step down from the SmackDown Live broadcast team. We wish John the best of luck, and he will remain in the WWE family. And with that, we would like
Tom Phillips and Byron Sexton, the only two broadcasters, with Corey Graves.
Guys,
I know I have some big cowboy boots to fill, but I could not be more excited. Good to work with you again, Phillips and Saxton.
Did you miss me, Corey?
You're here too.
Wow. That's surprising, buddy.
Corey Graves, remember, in this time is the broadcaster for both Raw and SmackDown Live. The winner of the #1 contenders match will be in an Hell in a Cell championship match.
On SmackDown Live.
Randy Orton in the backstage.
In my career, I've watched more stars crash and burn than I can count. Shinsuke Nakamura is a star, there's no doubt about that. But will he rise, or will he fall? Last week, I taught Nakamura a lesson when I hit him with an RKO. It was a reminder that if you are distracted for even 1 second, you will go down. But I also wanted to let him know that no one will stand in my way of finally taking the WWE title from Jinder Mahal. No one rises above the Viper.
Both guys in the backstage. Randy Orton is very confident, and Nakamura, the man with a few words.
Respect the legend of Randy Orton. He knows how to inflict pain everywhere. But I am chasing my destiny, the WWE title. And the pain I inflict the Viper will be felt everywhere.
Also, Nakamura is very confident, ladies and gentlemen, for this matchup.
Nakamura and Orton later tonight for the first time ever right now.
And now Carmella in the ring with James Ellsworth.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the moonwalking, trash talking Princess of Staten Island.
And now Natalia arriving in the arena. Kevin Owens, I'm sorry. Kevin Owens arriving in the arena, not Natalia. I'm confused that the theme song of Kevin Owens is the theme song of Natalia.
That's an understatement. Kevin Owens has gone off the deep end. We saw it last week, and I can only imagine what's on the mind of Kevin Owens. I have a feeling we're about to find out, but I can assure you one thing,
the moment with James Ellsworth
he will stop at nothing to get.
Strange
Commentary last week injected himself into a matchup, made himself the official, all because of his vendetta with Shane McMahon, our commissioner.
James, as extremely profound as I'm sure what you were about to say was, I have some exciting news for you and your better half, Carmella. Carmella, the match you're about to have with Natalia now has a special guest referee, and that's me!
Kevin Owens announced that he is the special guest referee in the match between Natalia.
I need the shirt. Take the shirt. Take the shirt off. I need that.
And now arrives Shane McMahon.
I think we're going to get a different perspective on that viewpoint.
The commissioner of SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember last week, Kevin
Here comes the money.
made himself the official in the middle of the match, which Kevin Owens allowed to happen, and Shane McMahon threw that match out the window.
Yeah, rightfully so. Shane McMahon doing the right thing, and rightfully so tonight.
Shane McMahon not standing by, not allowing Kevin Owens to do it again.
Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens in the ring. Everybody says Shane, I'm not in the WWE.
Thank you for that. How's everybody doing tonight?
Listen, Kevin, I came out here because I'm going to shut this down.
I think that there will be an innocent match between Shane McMahon and Kevin
and
Owens.
make yourself a referee. See, Kevin, at every turn, I've been extremely patient, but you've been defiant. You have been so defiant to me. And Kevin, one thing that we have to get very clear.
Shane McMahon is not happy about his action of Kevin Owens. The actions of Kevin Owens.
You need to stop blaming me for your losses. Let's go back to SummerSlam. You blame me for your loss at SummerSlam. When I told you, you and AJ, if you put your hands on me, well, things can happen. But once again, the conclusion of that match, you blame me for your loss. Let's go back 2 weeks ago right here on SmackDown Live. Once again, you had another opportunity at the United States Championship where you yourself got to pick your own referee. You picked Baron Corbin. He came down, and he didn't even finish. He left. He left the entire match. He walked away. But once again, Kevin, you blame me for your losses. Kevin, I don't know what else to do for you.
The only reason Baron left is because you pulled him out of the ring. You interfered just like you did at SummerSlam. Okay?
Kevin Owens.
Now, please don't act
Things
like you're
that
doing me any favors, okay? I know that you
responsibility
never
of his loss
wanted me on SmackDown Live, and guess what? That's the one thing I can agree with you on, because I don't want to be on SmackDown Live either. If it was up to me, I would still be on Raw.
Well, we definitely agree on that. And I wonder why that is, Kevin. Oh, let me go back and go down memory lane. Is that because Triple H single-handedly gave you the Universal Championship?
No, we're talking about the controversial win against the championship.
You have to earn your championships. Matter of fact, all talent have to earn their success here, Kevin. And by the way, when you look at me, don't blame me why you're not successful. Blame yourself.
Blame yourself, says Shane McMahon.
So you're telling me that the reason I'm not United States champion right now has nothing to do with you? Nothing to do with you. Of course, it has to do with you. Everything here has something to do with Shane McMahon because you make sure that's how it is. Yeah. Shane, what happened, man? Why are you like this? Why do you need to do all these things to get the spotlight? Is it because your daddy didn't give you enough attention when you were a kid? Is that what it is? Is that why you're willing to do anything to be the center of attention? You're willing to parade your kids around here and make them dance during your entrance?
It's an amazing heel.
Do not mention my kids again.
What about jumping off the cell? How was that? Look, Dad, look what I can do. I can jump off the cell. Look, Daddy, I can fall off really tall things and get back up. Look, Daddy, I can survive a helicopter crash. You know what, man? I'm going to be real honest with you right now. Your entire family would have been better off if you hadn't survived that crash. Everyone.
Strong words by the
your dad. Your wife. And especially your kids.
Now, Shane McMahon attacked Kevin Owens. Yes. Shane McMahon attacked Kevin Owens on the broadcast position on the table. Shane McMahon attacked Kevin Owens, ladies and gentlemen. The feud starts right now between these two. Shane McMahon is furious with Kevin Owens. Shane McMahon is furious against Kevin Owens. Nobody can stop Shane McMahon. And arrived Daniel Bryan to stop Shane. Remember, Shane McMahon is the commissioner of SmackDown Live and attacks a superstar. Everybody behind Shane McMahon. This is the first segment, ladies and gentlemen, for this today episode of SmackDown Live. We saw earlier minutes ago Kevin Owens use attack Shane McMahon and says that is talking about the helicopter crash, talking about the Shane Mac family, his kids, and Shane Mac doesn't like the words of Kevin Owens and attacks Kevin Owens. After Daniel Bryan arrived in the arena, in the ringside, and stopped Shane Mac because Shane Mac was furious with Kevin Owens. I think that was a good segment. This is the first segment of this episode, the opening, and I think that is a good opening with Shane Mac, a furious Shane Mac, and to me, this is my prediction. I think that on Hell in a Cell will be an Hell in a Cell matchup between Kevin Owens and Shane Mac. And everybody knows that Shane Mac is crazy. Shane Mac is a crazy guy with a dangerous moment, everybody remember. Therefore, my prediction is an Hell in a Cell matchup for Shane Mac versus Kevin Owens. Welcome everybody, subscribe the channel for over 450 WWE videos, including special review with legend like the Legion of Doom Animal. Every week the episode of the Legend of Wrestling WWE action figure was King Combined today. Just few hours ago I shared this video on this channel, on my channel. We saw in the first segment of SmackDown Live, before the commercial break, we saw a furious Shane Mac made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens. Both attack Kevin Owens in the broadcast position. Huge moment, ladies and gentlemen. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena to discover another moment. But I remember you also the main event tonight. Shows Randy Orton we saw earlier tonight in the opening of this episode. We saw Orton and Nakamura in the backstage, and both are confident about this match. Nakamura is confident about his win. And also Randy Orton, the Viper. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena, and I remember you what just happened a few minutes ago on SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens, James Ellsworth, and Carmella was in the ring for a match between Carmella and Natalya. Kevin Owens arrived in the arena, and says to James Ellsworth, "Hey James, I am the special guest referee for this match." After Kevin Owens go to the referee and ask the referee to get him the referee t-shirt, but the referee go away, don't give his shirt to Kevin Owens. After arrive Shane Mac. Shane Mac arrive in the arena, arrive in the ring and talk with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens says that Kevin Owens blame yourself. Shane McMahon says to Kevin Owens, blame yourself about your loss because you are the reason of your loss. After Kevin Owens attacks Shane Mac about because everybody remember that Shane Mac survived the helicopter crash. And Kevin Owens attacks Shane Mac about this helicopter crash and says that was if attacked the Shane Mac and his family, his kids, his wife. Shane Mac attacked immediately. Made a physical attack against Kevin Owens on the ringside, on the broadcast position, and made a huge attack. In a few minutes, start the first match is Natalya versus Carmella, the next match, the first match of the night. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena, ladies and gentlemen. Because the first segment was about Kevin Owens and Shayna Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, and Shayna Mac attacks Kevin Owens. The first match tonight will be in a few minutes. We start with a match between Carmella and Natalya. Miss Money in the Bank versus the Women's Champions. Natalya. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody from Wrestling Channel with Alan Magnet. This Smackdown live stream, live reaction, watch party. Subscribe the channel for over 450 WW videos. Leave a comment, give me your prediction for this main event tonight. Randy Orton versus Nakamura, and the winner will face Jinder Mahal on Hell in a Cell. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is another big news. Hell in a Cell this year is a pay-per-view of SmackDown Live. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena for the matchup between Carmella and Natalya. The match was stopped by Kevin Owens, by an interference of Kevin Owens. But Brian stopped the attacks stop Shane McMahon. Remember, Shane McMahon is the commissioner. And the commissioner today made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens. It's not wrong. I think that it is not good for a commissioner made a physical attack with a member of his roster. Remember, the commissioner is the commissioner of all SmackDown Live, and this commissioner made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens. Then Brian stopped Shane McMahon and saved Kevin Owens because Shayna Mac was furious during this moment. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena. It is an arena with a strange name that I don't remember, but I'll give you the name in a few seconds. And we're back in a few minutes in the arena to the match, to the women's match, the women's division between Natalya and Carmella, Miss Money in the Bank. The women's champions versus Miss Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. In a few seconds, we're back in the arena, but in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, to this women's match between Natalya and Carmella, Miss Money in the Bank, and the WWE champions. Women's champions. The women's champions is the best there is, the best there was, the best ever will be, like his uncle, Bradley Manhart. Few seconds and we're back in the arena, ladies and gentlemen. Few seconds. I watch with you, I talk with you. You can use your ear. In a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. In a few seconds, we're back in the arena to the first match of the night, a women's division.
We're back here on SmackDown Live, and things got
Tom Phillips.
very explosive between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon.
I'm going to be real honest with you right now. Your entire family would have been better off if you hadn't survived that crash. Everyone. Your dad. Your wife. And especially your kids.
Brutal attack.
This was spilled all over the ringside area here. Corey, when you bring a man's family into this, Shane McMahon just snapped.
I understand that Shane's the commissioner and Shane's in charge, but Kevin Owens insulted the man's family. There's only so much you can stand for.
And Kevin Owens been promoting Shane McMahon like this for weeks and months. Look, every man has his point. Every man has his point where he snaps. That's exactly what we saw from Shane.
Daniel Bryan seemingly the only man who could get Shane under control even momentarily.
What are you doing? Says Brian to Shane. Because everybody says yes. Now Kevin Owens in the backstage. Kevin Owens in trouble.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. No matter how provoked Shane did not have put his hands on you, he was completely out of line.
You're damn right. He was, but he couldn't help himself, could he? You better enjoy your job while you have it, Brian. Because I'm going to turn SmackDown Live into the Kevin Owens show, literally. Brian, I'm going to sue Shane. I'm going to sue WWE. I'm going to sue every member of the McMahon family. Do you understand? I'm going to take this show down. I'm going to take WWE down. Shane McMahon will regret ever putting his hands on me.
Kevin, I know you're upset, but there's got to be a different way that we can handle this. Certainly.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go. I'm going to press criminal charges on Shane McMahon myself.
Controversial moment. The starts over.
Listen, guys, I understand Kevin Owens' mindset and being upset. But at the end of the day, Kevin Owens provoked Shane McMahon, even brought Shane's family into this. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Kevin Owens stoop to low levels, but this was entirely low and despicable. Kevin Owens should be ashamed of himself.
And Daniel Bryan apologized, said that Shane had no reason to do that. The general manager trying to correct the situation, but nonetheless, it was Kevin Owens who initially came out here to start the show. We were expecting this matchup to even get started. Now, Carmella missed Money in the Bank.
Carmella missed Money in the Bank. Is ready to
SmackDown Women's Champion Natalia. Try to restore some order.
And now, Natalia, the daughter of Jim the Anvil Nida.
The following contest is a women's division match, scheduled for one fall.
Natalia.
Making her way to the ring from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. She's the Smackdown
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Natalia.
Another opportunity to go one-on-one. Recently, these two were tag team partners 2 weeks ago. A golden opportunity was there for Carmella, but then James Ellsworth happened.
And Abby, honestly, how honorable is it your partner here tonight? She could not tag in and, I don't know, let you get beat up the whole match and quite possibly cash in her money.
Video promo about what is happening 2 weeks.
Yeah, no chemistry, no alliance between Carmella and Natalia.
The fucking match with Natalia and Carmella versus Becky and Naomi 2 weeks ago. No chemistry between Natalia and Carmella. Some problem in this match 2 weeks ago.
SmackDown Women's Champion in this match. Carmella waited for the opportunity to cash in. But you gotta think, guys, tonight is just the first half of Natalia's 2-week equation, because next week we're headed to Sin City, and that's when Natalia
next week, Women's Championship match.
against
Naomi versus Natalia. But tonight, Natalia is versus Carmella.
Here we go, right out of the back. The champion trying to take control of Carmella.
The irony right here, you think back last year, Carmella's very first match on SmackDown Live, very first victory came at the hands of Natalia.
Now Natalia on the run.
Carmella versus Natalia. Natalia in control of the match at this time.
If it arrives.
Oh, you're absolutely right, but also on Natalia's end of things, a loss heading into Sin City SmackDown could be terribly
I think Natalia deserves this time. She's worked hard for many years. Yeah, she has a good legacy. And now the match. Slap in the face of Carmella by Natalia. Slap in the face of Natalia by Carmella. Crossline by Natalia on Carmella. Carmella go outside the ring with James Ellsworth.
And this
And now, Carmella in control of the match in a submission maneuver against Natalya. Carmella in control of the match.
Every reason to be confident. She told me she's got that Money in the Bank briefcase on her nightstand, so every morning she wakes up, she knows she's got the one thing.
Carmella in control versus Natalya.
The Money in the Bank contract. Look at these right hands. Oh, and Carmella with a slap right back of the champion. Remember the Money in the Bank contract that James Ellsworth is holding at ringside. Guarantees a title opportunity anytime, anywhere. Natalya's challenger next week.
Naomi in the backstage watch the match.
Carmella can hurt Natalya tonight. Natalya is right for the pickings whenever Carmella wants to cash in.
For this match, I think the winner will be Natalya. My prediction. Carmella versus Natalya, ladies and gentlemen.
Power display from Natalya. It's been one of the MOs of Natalya in this division, her power, her technical prowess. The reason why she's had a lot of success over the last 10 years. How is it better, Byron? At the same time, we saw Naomi.
Natalya tried the sharpshooter. And Carmella in trouble against Natalya. A back elbow by Carmella. Kick by Carmella Natalya. 1, 2. Only to count for Carmella.
What's Ellsworth doing?
Ellsworth. No, James. James give the money in the briefcase to referee. It's too stupid. For 1, 2, 3. Yes. Natalya wins because James Ellsworth, the stupid James Ellsworth, made a distraction for her friends. Carmella.
James Ellsworth maybe got a little overzealous.
James Ellsworth made a huge mistake. Natalya wins the match.
Carmella could have been thinking about cashing in Money in the Bank. Instead, Ellsworth gave a bit of a butterfinger here on the apron. Well, take a look at this. Here we go. Look at this dummy. Up. Carmella with the kick. Watch Ellsworth. Ellsworth looks to cash in the Money in the Bank. The referee, I think, believed that was Carmella's intention.
Natalya wins the match against Carmella, like my prediction.
Carmella. That was not the case, but the champion would take it.
Natalya wins the match against Carmella.
Balance isn't the strong suit of James Ellsworth.
Some problem between Carmella against Ellsworth this time.
Most people live their whole lives wanting a loyal companion like Ellsworth. Is it his decision?
You don't have to tell me you're sorry, James, because I know you're sorry. You're the sorriest excuse for a human being I have ever met. In fact, ever met. How do you even work here, James? How are you still employed? You know what you are, James? You are so lucky to even be in my presence. And now, James, you and me, us, you know what, James? We're through.
This is the end of this.
Excruciatingly personal here.
Now Shane McMahon
what is on the mind is Shane McMahon trying to cool hands on tail. I have to agree with him on second thought. From a volatile situation.
Up next, Dolph Ziggler returns.
Dolph Ziggler says he's going to have a new persona, a new look. Well, it's the re-debut of Dolph Ziggler.
Re-debut of Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, a man that I don't like. It's only a jobber to me, Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph Ziggler returns, ladies and gentlemen. Dolph Ziggler returns on SmackDown Live tonight. I remember you, ladies and gentlemen, like this video, subscribe to the channel for over 450 WWE videos, including live stream, top 10, review, Diva Art compilation, Legend of the Past with my collection of action figures,
WWE No Mercy is presented by Mountain Dew and Little Caesars. Make it a 3-count combo today by adding a Mountain Dew and a crazy combo to any pizza. Do the do.
As we welcome you back, you may have noticed over the last few nights that WWE arenas like here tonight on SmackDown Live are decked out in gold as September all month long is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, we here at WWE are so extremely proud to support Connor's Cure, which just so happens to be named after this heroic young man.
My wrestling name is Connor the Crusher.
Connor inspired so many people.
WWE has come in.
And again, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. As you can tell from the smiles on the faces of the kids that you just saw, what happens with Connor's Cure really makes a difference.
And for more information and to learn how you can help, visit ConnorTheCrusher.com.
Dolph Ziggler back to SmackDown.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dolph Ziggler.
Didn't you say before the commercial break we were going to see the Reed debut? Yeah, Dolph Ziggler.
Not seeing much difference here.
Very familiar.
I was expecting a new and improved Ziggler, but let's wait and see.
Dolph Ziggler, get the microphone.
All of you here tonight, and the rest of the WWE Universe, you have no appreciation for what I can do in that ring. No. You'd rather sit here on your hands. You'd rather sit here unsatisfied with the greatest performer in WWE history right here in front of your face. Shame on all of you. You don't want me. You'd rather just have some dumb gimmick.
And leaving here. Now Dolph Ziggler with the music of John Cena. Made an imitation of John Cena, Dolph Ziggler. Everybody booing Dolph Ziggler.
That didn't work for you? Now you saw through it? I got some real nostalgia, right? Yeah, here we go.
Now another entrance for Dolph Ziggler. Another entrance for Dolph Ziggler. The Ziggler entrance looks like Macho Man the Savage. One and the only. Looks like Macho Man. Macho Man the Savage, one of the best of all time. True legend Macho Man.
Now you're not buying it? Usually go for a nostalgia crowd, not tonight. That's a shame. You know what? This isn't working. I'm sorry. Take this robe back. You're not needed here. Thank you. What you deserve. Hit the lights.
Now another entrance for Dolph Ziggler. A comedy moment.
Imagine what's next. This is getting weirder by the moment.
Maybe the invitation. Naomi. The theme song of Naomi. Dolph Ziggler looks like Naomi. Dolph Ziggler with the theme song of Naomi.
Speak for yourself.
So this is what it's come to, huh? Dumbass hand gestures, dancing like an idiot, lasers, costumes. That's what you want, huh? Anyone could do what I just did. Anybody. But no one can do what I do in that ring.
Dolph Ziggler.
But you couldn't care less, right? You couldn't care less, right? Well, guess what? I don't give a damn about you either.
Everybody booing Dolph Ziggler.
You all make me sick.
You are making me sick. Dolph Ziggler leaving the arena.
That was certainly unexpected, maybe disappointing, but I can tell you one thing that won't be disappointing. It's our main event tonight with championship implications. The Rockstar
versus Randy Orton.
will do battle with the Viper Randy
The
Orton.
winner earns championship match and
the
ends.
WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell.
We kept the line tonight on the developments between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, but up next, some of the
Sami Zayn collide with Aiden English once again. Up next. Everybody remember that Aiden English defeats Sami Zayn in 2 different occasions. Aiden English. Therefore could be once again the winner, Aiden English. I love Aiden English, he's a good character. The drama king of wrestling, Aiden English. In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with a match between Sami Zayn and Aiden English. But I remember you what just happened earlier tonight. Natalia defeats Carmella because James Ellsworth distracts Carmella during the match. Therefore, the relationship between James Ellsworth and Carmella was ended, ladies and gentlemen. This is the news of the night. And also Dolph Ziggler back with many transformations. Used the entrance of John Cena after the entrance of the legendary Hall of Famer Macho Man Savage, one of the greatest of all time, and after with the team entrance, team song with Mayo. But everybody booing Dolph Ziggler and his multi-entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, Smackdown live stream, live reaction, watch party. Yes. In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Denny Sanford Premier Center on Sioux Falls to a match between Sami Zayn and Aiden English. Everybody remember that Aiden English wins 2 times winner wins 2 matches against Sami Zayn. Therefore, will be another win for Aiden English. I pick Sami Zayn. I think that this time will not another wins for Aiden English. But remember also what just happened earlier tonight between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens And I think that will be an NSL matchup between these two. I think that's my prediction about this feud between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. And also, we saw a women's matchup between the Women's Championship, the champions Natalia versus Miss Money in the Bank Carmella. And Natalia wins the matchup because James Ellsworth made an interference distract her lady Carmella. After the matchup, Carmella stopped his relationship with James Ellsworth. Carmella is not happy, no questions about that. After Dolph Ziggler made his re-debut, a comedy re-debut, he used many gimmicks of the past, John Cena, the one and the only Macho Man Savage, and Young. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena to a match between Sami Zayn and Hayden English, the Shakespeare of the ring. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the channel for 150 WWE videos. Every Tuesday, SmackDown live stream. Every Wednesday, NXT live stream. Every Monday, Raw live stream. Plus, special review with my action figure collection. Over 200 figures, including Animal of the Legion of Doom Road Warriors. And also, today's, you can find in this channel, a few hours ago, videos about a custom action figure of the legendary King Kong Bundy. But in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the arena to the live stream, live for SmackDown Live, to a matchup between Sami Zayn and Hayden English. But also, I remember you the main event tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember you that the next challenger for Jinder Mahal's WWE Championship on Hell in a Cell will be determined on SmackDown Live tonight in the main event when Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura clash in a huge first-time ever showdown. Who will earn the right to face the Mother de Maharaja on Hell in a Cell? The Viper or the Kingdom Strong Style? Find out the main event, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on SmackDown Live. But in a few minutes, we're back in the arena in the Denny Sanford Premier Center to a matchup between Hayden English and Sami Zayn. In a few minutes, these two guys collide. And remember that Sami Zayn lost two matches against Hayden English. But I think that tonight, Sami Zayn will be the winner. In a few minutes, we're back in the center, in the Denny Sanford Premier Center, to this matchup. Hayden English versus Sami Zayn. But don't forget, subscribe the channel for over 450 WWE videos. In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, remember also that you can find many Diva Art compilation in this channel, including Nikki Bella Art compilation, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Eva Marie, and many Otis Diva, and also plus special review with my action figure about the WWE legend of the past, about the golden era, the best era of the WWE WWF. Plus, every Tuesday, like today, SmackDown live stream. Also, tomorrow night will be the NXT live stream. If you don't have the WWE Nectar subscription, you can see, you can earn, and you can know everything what just happened in the WWE on this channel. Every week, 3 live stream, Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, plus every NXT takeover and pay-per-views live stream only on this channel, Wrestling Channel with Ala Magnetti. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody for this new live stream about today's episode on SmackDown Live. And I give you the first results of this episode. Shane Mac made a huge and brutal attack of Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens provoked him and talking about his family and his kids. And Shane Mac going crazy in an attack. Kevin Owens in the ringside on the broadcast position. Only Daniel Bryan can stop Shane Mac. After we saw another match, the first match of the night, a women's match, Natalya versus Carmella, and Natalya, the champions, defeat Miss Money in the Bank because James Ellsworth, the stupid man, maybe the one of the I don't know what is the good word to make a good definition of these stupid guys. James Ellsworth during the match between Carmella and Natalya distracts Carmella, and Natalya wins. Therefore, after the match, Carmella stopped her relationship with James Ellsworth. And now we are ready for another match. Up next on SmackDown Live, Sami Zayn versus Aiden English. In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the arena. In the arena to this match. And remember that 2 times. Sami Zayn lost 2 matches. In a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the arena to this match. Few seconds for this match. Few seconds, we're back in the arena for Sami Zayn versus Aiden English. Everybody remember that Sami Zayn lost 2 matches against Aiden English. And remember you also that the main event tonight is a huge main event. Aiden English in the ring.
The maestro of mayhem.
Aiden English is here. Sami Zayn stopped the concert of Aiden English.
Sami Zayn to interrupt something beautiful and artistic. I'm not complaining.
Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn in the arena, ladies and gentlemen. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, is Sami Zayn, ladies and gentlemen. 212 pounds.
Music on a lot much better. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn and Aiden English are ready. Remember last week, Kevin Owens popped up on the commentary right here. He took the jersey off the...
Remember that last week, Sami Zayn lost his match against Aiden English because Kevin Owens was an unofficial special guest already. This because the feud the match starts right now. Official beginning of the match, ladies and gentlemen.
The jersey of the official made himself the referee in the matchup, and basically handed the victory to Aiden English in the process after he popped a powerbomb Sami Zayn. Shane McMahon will go on to strike the match from the record book, so Aiden English and Sami Zayn getting the matchup they deserved last week on SmackDown Live.
Aiden English.
He's been living all week long.
Sami Zayn in control of the match.
Kevin Owens cost him that win. Basically handed the victory to Aiden English in the process. Powerbomb Sami Zayn.
Shane McMahon will go on to strike the match from the record book, so Aiden English and Sami Zayn getting the match
Sami Zayn in control.
last week on SmackDown Live.
Sami told me he's been living all week long and downright disgusted over the fact that Kevin Owens cost him that win.
Remember, Kevin Owens had gone to Sami Zayn a couple weeks back. He was trying to get Sami Zayn to be the United States title match before Baron Corbin.
Those rivalries will burn forever. I think that's going to be the case with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Sami Zayn continues the match in control, and in trouble.
And Sami Zayn able to flip inside, back inside the ring there, and takes down Aiden English. Here's Sami Zayn. You've seen what your former best friend Kevin Owens has done to the commissioner Shane McMahon, the situation he's put him in. You can't be surprised, honestly. This is what Sami Zayn expects out of Kevin Owens.
Still in trouble against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn in control of the match.
Hold on. Sami's going to... Hold on a second. What's the
1,
cover
2,
here on Sami? And English got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aiden English wins once again, the third time. And this is a clean win.
Sami's going to fly. Oh, caught on a crossbody there, and Aiden English able to get
Aiden English wins the match against Sami Zayn.
cover here on Sami?
Once again. Aiden English wins the match.
Fantastic victory for Aiden English. See, Sami, that's what you get for interrupting true art.
Let's take another look here. Sami was going up top, and to the credit of Aiden English, noticing the right positioning in the ring and taking advantage. Aiden English will wherewithal then the cover here on Sami Zayn.
Aiden English wins the match.
Now, before I was so rudely interrupted,
Aiden English continues his concert.
I give you the grand finale.
The grand finale of Aiden English.
The greatest thing you've ever seen.
The greatest thing you've ever seen.
Right here on. Please don't stop.
Now Sami Zayn trying. Aiden English, but Aiden English is the winner, and Sami Zayn is the loser. Unbelievable! I lost my prediction.
Sami Zayn had to spoil everything.
And the frustrations continue to boil over all over SmackDown Live. We're going to take you back to how the show began. Kevin Owens with a very cutting exchange with our commissioner Shane McMahon.
Another look
right now.
about what has happened between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon tonight.
Would have been better off if you hadn't survived that crash. Everyone, your dad, your wife, and especially your kids.
Shane McMahon had heard it out from Kevin Owens for weeks. He's been telling Kevin Owens to quit complaining, and finally Shane McMahon had snapped.
Kevin Owens provoked Shane McMahon, and Shane wouldn't listen anymore. But Shane needs to keep his emotions in check as the commissioner of SmackDown Live.
The last thing Shane cared about earlier was just getting revenge and hurting Kevin Owens. And Shane McMahon had to be ripped off of Kevin Owens here by WWE officials and the security here to kick off the show before Daniel Bryan intervened.
Daniel Bryan in the locker room. And the New Day arrive in the backstage.
Well, if there's anybody who can lift my spirits up, it's you guys. I'm glad you guys came in. We do.
And the Usos in the backstage.
Jay, thanks for coming. It's time for you guys to announce the stipulation for next week's SmackDown Tag Team Championship match against the New Day.
You're damn straight it is, Oos. Next week, SmackDown Live in Las Vegas.
And Sin City, Street Fight.
The Usos, let's see if this is the news. The Usos choose the stipulation for the Tag Team Championship match next week for Sin City. It's a street fight match.
And the Usos.
Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah. No. Yeah!
I have to take this. You guys can just give me a minute.
All right. I got TV. Yeah! Yeah!
Yes, sir. How can I help you? You want me to do what? In the ring. Sir, listen, there's got to be another way we can handle this. What if we... Okay. I understand. Yes, sir. I'll do it right now. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Somebody calls on the phone Daniel Bryan. And somebody wants Daniel Bryan in the ring.
Daniel Bryan in the ring. SmackDown Live. It was before the commercial break that we saw Daniel Bryan receive a phone call, uncertain what it was all about, but I have a feeling we're about to find out here from the general manager himself.
Maybe it's a Vince McMahon. Daniel Bryan got the microphone. And a huge announcement.
I need Shane McMahon to come down to the ring.
And Daniel Bryan called Shane McMahon. But nobody arrives in the ring. Shane McMahon already in the ring. I think this is a decision.
Shane, what were you thinking?
Things obviously got a little out of control.
Do you remember, it was about a year ago, The Miz went on. It was shortly after I retired. And every week he kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And do you know how many times I thought, you know what, screw WWE, screw this job, I'm going to headbutt this jerk right in the face. But I didn't. Because you told me, as the general manager of SmackDown Live, I had to put the WWE first. I had to put the fans first. And I had to put our employees first. So every week, I restrained myself. I kept myself from punching him right in the face. And I did what was best for this company and for this show. Shane, you can't assault our employees or our superstars. We can't run SmackDown Live like that.
You're right. And I know I put you in a tough spot. And I take full responsibility for my actions. I should not put my hands on Kevin Owens. But you have to understand, no coming back. You yourself, Daniel, are now a father. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot.
Don't throw that in my face. You don't understand. Do you know the problems that we're in legally right now? Not just you, the entire WWE. Kevin Owens is a vindictive man. He is going to sue every member of your family. Not that I care about that, but I care about the jobs of the people in the back. That's how they feed their families.
I do too. I will take care of this. I will talk to Kevin Owens and I will smooth this over.
I'm afraid, Shane, it's too late for that.
Too late. I apologize.
I got a call just before I came out here.
With Vince McMahon with me. Yes.
Shane, effective immediately,
You're suspended.
per the chairman of the board and the CEO of the WWE.
You're fired or suspended.
I'm sorry, man. You're indefinitely suspended.
Suspended, yes. That's my prediction. Shane McMahon suspended by Vince McMahon. This is the news. Shane McMahon indefinitely suspended by Vince McMahon. Everybody loves Shane. Thank you, Shane, says everybody. A great moment, I think. What a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Shane McMahon is suspended. I can talk, yes, I can talk, Jeff. But in this time there was a huge moment. I listened everything about because there is a huge news, ladies and gentlemen. This is official. Shane McMahon is indefinitely suspended by Vince McMahon because his action with Kevin Owens. The commissioner can't touch his employer. Can't touch. And Shane McMahon is suspended, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, somebody can say that Shane McMahon has a match with AJ Styles on WrestleMania, but it was different. Shane McMahon didn't touch AJ Styles before the match. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Shane McMahon is indefinitely suspended by Vince McMahon because his action, because he puts his hands on Kevin Owens. This is the news, the huge news of the night. Shane McMahon is suspended, ladies and gentlemen. Now there is a commercial break, and during the commercial break I give you the other latest news about SmackDown Live. First, Shane McMahon made a huge attack in the opening contest, attack Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is talking about his family. A huge attack, Brian stopped Shane McMahon after a women's match between Miss Money in the Bank Carmella and Natalya, and Carmella lost the match because an interference of his former friend James Ellsworth, because Carmella stopped this relationship. Plus, Aiden English wins for the third time, wins a match against Sami Zayn. 3 wins for Aiden English, ladies and gentlemen. And now the stipulation. The users choose the stipulation for the Tag Team Championship match against the New Day next week. And this stipulation is a Street Fight Championship Tag Team match. Next week, 2 Tag Championship match. Natalya versus Naomi. The Usos versus the New Day. Plus, tonight, Shane O'Mac was suspended and definitely suspended by Vince McMahon. It's official. Shane O'Mac is suspended by his power because he attacks his employer, a superstar. Because Shane O'Mac attacks. Kevin Owens. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena. We're back in this Denny Sanford Premier Center arena. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the main event: Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena to another match, ladies and gentlemen. And remember the big news of the night: Shane O'Mac suspended. Shane O'Mac is suspended. In a few seconds, we're back in the arena for another match of the night. And Shane O'Mac is suspended. No questions about that. In a few seconds, we're back in the arena.
It's certainly been a newsworthy night here with the extraordinary news of the suspension of Shane McMahon as commissioner. But now please welcome my guest, along with the Singh brothers. He's the WWE champion, Jinder Mahal. Jinder, who would you rather face, Randy Orton or Shinsuke Nakamura?
Renee, it really doesn't matter. I've already beaten Randy Orton multiple times and proven that I am better than him. And the same goes for this world-renowned artist, Shinsuke Nakamura. All the hype, all the social media attention didn't matter. When SmackDown Live's resident rock star was face-to-face with the modern-day Maharaja. There is a reason why the New York Times is writing about me. I represent Asia much better than Shinsuke Nakamura ever could. I represent the greatest nation on earth, India.
I'm very confident.
100 days I have proven
we don't care about
WWE champion
which
of all time
will be the winner.
I will be watching tonight's main event very closely, just like the rest of the WWE Universe. So what will it be? Randy Orton's RKO or Shinsuke Nakamura's Kinshasa? May the better man win, and may that man fall to the modern-day Maharaja. I will now speak to my people in my language, of Punjabi. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾ ਰੈਂਡੀ ਔਰਟਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਸ਼ਿਨਸੂਕੇ ਨਾਕਾਮੋਰਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਦਾ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜਿੰਦਰ
I think that Jinder Mahal is a typical old school heel, like the Iron Sheik, for example.
Jinder Mahal awaits the winner of Nakamura and Orton at Hell in a Cell.
And just down in the bottom position.
Joined by the United States champion AJ Styles here on commentary. AJ, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hey man, I gotta tell you, this whole comic secure thing is a great thing. In fact, you know, as a father of four, I just want to say that I can't imagine what these families are going through. But I can tell you any way we can help is the best thing. In fact, this elbow pad that I have on, this gold elbow pad, man, looks pretty sweet. In fact, it's going to be up for auction tonight.
And starting right now, you can bid on AJ's elbow pad. 100% of the net proceeds benefit Connor's Cure. You can visit WWEauction.com to start bidding right now.
And it's all throughout the month of September as we send our benefits and proceeds to research
Baron Corbin
pediatric cancer awareness.
275 pounds, 6'8".
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Kansas City, weighing in 275 pounds, Baron Corbin.
Former Mr. Money in the Bank.
Here's a man that's
Everybody remember that Baron Corbin
the United States
lost
Championship
his
for a few
Money in
weeks
the
now.
Bank contract.
And Baron
What a
Corbin,
shame.
AJ set his sights directly on you.
Well, he should. I'm the United States champion. Everybody wants it. Why wouldn't they? When you hold this championship, you're considered one of the best.
Baron Corbin actually attempted to make a deal a few weeks ago to get himself a United States title opportunity, but it was just last week that the United States Open Challenge was reopened. And it was Baron Corbin who said in an interview that he was going to take it, but Byron, it was Ty Dillinger who took the opportunity instead.
You got to have a first man up mentality. Ty Dillinger almost had you, AJ, almost had you beat, but credit to you, great wherewithal, and you were able to capitalize.
Ty Dillinger brought a great fight here about the calf crusher here from AJ Styles. No choice for Ty Dillinger but to tap out in this United States title match. But look at Baron Corbin would come in to pick the bones on Dillinger.
Baron Corbin, well chronicled, poor mood, and AJ, you had an answer for the lone wolf. Yeah, I don't. He's not going to cheap shot me, that's for sure. That's what he does. He's a cheap shot artist.
Corbin in the ring. And now, in a match against the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger vs. Baron Corbin.
And his opponent from Niagara Falls, weighing in at 225 pounds.
He won 50 pounds advantage for Baron Corbin. Ty Dillinger.
An opportunity for both of these men, Dillinger or Corbin, to stand out in the hunt for the United States title. And we want to let you know our newest mobile game, WWE Tag Mania, is fun for the whole family. You can download it for free at the App Store or Google Play.
AJ, I talked to Ty earlier, and he said the fact that you have reopened this U.S. Open Challenge has injected so much new life into the locker room, given new hope to superstars like Ty. Well, that's what we're supposed to do.
The Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
That's what we do. And I want to give everybody an opportunity, if we can get Baron Corbin out of the way, to let that happen.
Well, listen, AJ, I know Baron Corbin better than just about anybody in WWE. This man will stop at absolutely nothing, will be as ruthless as possible and do... Oh, hold on.
Corbin leading the ring and talking with AJ Styles. But look
out from behind!
And Ty Dillinger attacking Baron Corbin from behind.
And now look at Dillinger go! And
Dillinger is
Dillinger
the
right
big
on
guy.
top of Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Payback here after last week.
But really is Eric Rowan in the crowd. He was the big guy of
absolutely on fire right now.
You can't blame him. You can't blame Ty Dillinger. Listen, you can make the argument that Baron Corbin severely affected the ability of Ty to win that United States title last week.
And Corbin able to fend off. Dillinger climbs back into the ring. Oh, and caught up by Dillinger. Sending Corbin outside the ring. Corbin is getting rocked right now by Ty Dillinger.
Take it to him, Ty.
the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
USA.
Now Baron Corbin in control against Ty Dillinger. He won the 65 pounds. It's a Baron Corbin. Welcome everybody to this wrestling. AJ Styles in the top position with Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, Baron Corbin in control. But Ty Dillinger is some back elbows. Corbin. And now, Ace and avalanche by Corbin. Hitting the dirty by the big guy. Crossline. By the 275 pounds. Only to count for Corbin.
Yeah, sure, it's a lot
Only
easier
to count for
said
Baron
than
Corbin
done.
against Ty Dillinger.
Corbin down to size. Just take another look at the speed of the
50
monster Baron
pounds
Corbin around the
of
post.
difference between these two. 255 pounds Ty Dillinger.
Taking
275
Dillinger's
Baron
head out with
Corbin.
a lariat.
And AJ, look, very clearly one of the reasons Corbin is so upset is because
Corbin
he once was
talking
able to
with
control
AJ
his
Styles.
destiny. He once had the Money in the Bank contract.
He doesn't now, does he? That's what I was starting to say earlier, AJ.
Baron
Corbin's
Corbin
like a man
versus Ty
possessed.
Dillinger.
That's important, but Dillinger able to stop it.
Dillinger against Baron Corbin.
Corbin lost his most prized possession in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now he wants your United States title almost as a surrogate.
Now Dillinger in control. Unbelievable.
Stop right on the side of the
Dillinger in
face.
control of the match.
Baron Corbin's got his hands more than full right now with Ty Dillinger. Dillinger looks like he's
Ty
hobbled a little
Dillinger
bit.
is in control of the match.
Not full speed, but stomping away. Yeah.
Ty Dillinger in control.
Not the only one pulling for Ty.
You almost feel like just answering the challenge last week has ignited a new fire. Ty Dillinger tonight.
Oh, look out, thinking about the tiebreaker, trying to get the big man up on his
Dillinger with
shoulders.
the block over his shoulder, but Corbin
Just too big.
attack too big for
Right
Dillinger.
off tracks and sitting
Baron Corbin
with
in control of the match.
Nothing pretty about that.
Oh, and Dillinger. Shades of last week sent to the barricade by Corbin.
Lone Wolf just absolutely ruthless right now.
Baron
You know what
Corbin
Corbin's all about. This is a totally different type of
versus
focus.
Ty Dillinger.
The United States titles in play.
Yeah. He's running them out. See what happens. You want it? Here I am.
Look at the power of Corbin.
Corbin is not taking his eyes off of style. Hold on. McKesson. Dillinger cover.
Point to count by Ty Dillinger on Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin better keep his focus on Ty Dillinger, not
Corbin
AJ
is
Styles on the
furious.
ringside.
Dillinger is used speed and agility.
Here comes Dillinger.
Takes advantage.
You cannot sleep
Takes
on
advantage
Dillinger.
on the big guy. And the perfect
The
10.
perfect 10 is going to work, but again, brings your
Work
head on at the
on
back.
the-
Cheap shot. Man, cheap shot.
The referee's
Cheap
view is
shots
obstructed.
by Corbin.
Corbin taking advantage. Oh my goodness!
Dillinger in trouble against the big guy.
This is gonna sound, you saw that with
Cheap shot. That's what
Big
he's
night
on.
on
Cheap
Baron
shot
Corbin's
artist.
face.
That's all you are.
Look at the proud smile on the face of the Lone Wolf.
Corbin getting around the referee.
The Lone Wolf in
Look at that
control.
shot.
Oh, boom! End of days.
1,
Byron, you can't
2,
sleep on Ty
3,
Dillinger, but you can put Ty
Baron
Dillinger to
Corbin
sleep.
wins the match.
Here's your winner, Baron
Mine and what AJ Styles. I think there could be a fighting match between AJ Styles and Baron
AJ
Corbin.
Styles is sick of what he just saw from Baron Corbin.
Corbin looks pleased with himself, and I can't honestly blame him. Appears to me the Lone Wolf's well under the skin of the United States champion, but this is what got AJ fired up most times.
Now watch this. The official was trying to separate these two in the near corner. Watch this. Corbin, boom, right there.
Baron Corbin wins the match against AJ Styles,
The
ladies and
academic after
gentlemen.
that, as Corbin would deliver after days, and no one gets up from the EOD. And Baron Corbin, everyone get perhaps a step closer to AJ Styles and his United States title here tonight.
Whether or not it's closer to the title,
Baron
we
Corbin
see
wins the
definitely
match
a step closer to
against
the mind
Ty
of
Dillinger.
AJ Styles.
Corbin remains on the hunt for the United States Championship. Meanwhile, these two superstars are locked in on the WWE Championship. Who will earn the opportunity
The main event,
to face Jinder Mahal for the title?
Nakamura versus
For the
Orton.
first time ever, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Randy Orton tonight. Yeah, from the first time matchup to the first time we were living in the age of gloriousness here on SmackDown Live.
Up next,
Because we are
Bobby
gonna take a
Roode.
special look at
The
Bobby
glorious
Roode.
arrival.
Next.
Up next, Bobby Roode. The glorious one. Glorious. Da da dee dee, da da dee dee, da da, glorious. Da da dee dee, na 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 na. Glorious. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena with the glorious one, Bobby Roode, but during the commercial break, I give you the news and the results of the night. Early tonight, in the opening moments, the commissioner, the former commissioner of the SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon, made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens provoked him, talking about his family, his kids. Therefore, Shane McMahon made a brutal attack on Kevin Owens on the ringside in the broadcast position. After, during the show, Vince McMahon made a call phone with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan arrived in the ring, announced that calling Shayna Mac. Shayna Mac arrived in the ring, and Daniel Bryan announced that Shayna Mac is indefinitely suspended. This is the big news. Also, Carmella lost the match against Natalya because James Ellsworth distracted her during the match, and Carmella, after the match, ended his relationship with James Ellsworth. Plus, Aiden English made his third wins against Sami Zayn. Once against Sami Zayn, Aiden English. And also the users choose the stipulation next week, the championship match, the users versus the New Day for a street fight match. And also next week another title match between Natalya and Naomi next week. We saw a few minutes ago Baron Corbin defeat Ty Dillinger. But remember tonight, the big news of the night, Shane O'Mac is suspended, undefinitely suspended. And remember the main event. The next challenger for Jinder Mahal's WWE Championship will be determined on SmackDown Live tonight. In the main event, when Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura clash in a huge first-time ever showdown. Who will earn the right to face the Modern Day Maharaja on Hell in a Cell, the Viper of the King of Strong Style? What is your prediction about the main event tonight? What is your favorite also? I pick Nakamura because I think that Nakamura deserves other match with the Maharaja for a title match, for a title belt. We saw in the past too much match between Randy Orton and Nakamura. Nakamura deserves another title opportunity, I think. And my prediction is for Nakamura. But what is your opinion about this match and what is your prediction? In a few minutes we're back in the arena to the glorious one, Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode back on SmackDown Live tonight. Maybe in action, a glorious arrival with Bobby Roode on SmackDown Live. September 5th, 2017, SmackDown Live. And remember, Shane O'Mac was undefinitely suspended by his father because his action against Kevin Owens. KO. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena. In a few minutes, remember, subscribe to the channel for over 450 WWE videos. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena for the Glorious One. The returns of the Glorious One, the Glorious Arrival on SmackDown Live. Few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. And subscribe to the channel for over 450 WWE videos. Few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The commissioner undefinitely suspended. The commissioner of SmackDown Live undefinitely suspended by Vince McMahon. This is the big news of the night. Like my prediction, because I predict that will be suspended. We saw also tonight Dolph Ziggler with some entrance. He made 3 different entrances. An entrance looks like John Cena, an entrance looks like the legendary Macho Savage, and also an entrance like Naomi. Corey Graves is a new commentator, broadcaster for SmackDown Live. And he's the broadcaster also for SmackDown Live and for Raw, for both shows. I think it is not a good idea because different roster, different broadcaster, not the same. I'm not. I don't like this choice. I think that the choreographer is a good commentator, good broadcaster, but I think also that SmackDown Live deserve different broadcaster because two different shows, two different roster, two different broadcaster. This is my opinion about the choice about my opinion about the choice to use choreographs in the broadcast position for both shows of the WWE. To me, it's not a good idea. I think that every show deserves different broadcaster. Choreographs for both, not a good idea to me. This is my opinion. But what do you think about that? What do you think about that? About that, this guy choreographs is in the both broadcaster position for both show Raw and SmackDown Live. What do you think? Give me your opinion. In a few minutes, we're back in the arena to the glorious one, the glorious arrival of Bobby Roode, the glorious one. In a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the arena with the glorious one, Bobby Roode, the newcomer of SmackDown Live, the third episode of SmackDown Live with Bobby Roode. Few seconds maybe to Bobby Roode of SmackDown Live. Few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, to see the glorious one on SmackDown Live, Bobby Roode. Ty Dillinger in the locker room.
Hey, bro. Hey. It was a good fight. It was a good fight last week. Had Baron Corbin not got involved, took his cheap shots. He did it tonight. That's what he does. He's a cheap shot artist. Here's the thing. Next week, United States Open Challenge is only going to be open to you. Let's give the WWE Universe the fight they want to see. What do you say? Phenomenal. See you in Sin City.
AJ Styles says that next week will be another open challenge for the championship match to give another opportunity for Ty Dillinger. A friendship between
No, stop it, Byron. Don't you dare. This is my job. I'm on SmackDown Live now. You can get on the bandwagon if you want, but the fact remains, SmackDown Live has finally become... Give me a hallelujah, Phillips. Hallelujah! Glorious!
Glorious.
What a glorious day! Bobby Roode is here on SmackDown Live! The landscape of SmackDown Live has just been significantly altered.
This year alone has been the most glorious year with Bobby Roode.
The man has won championships all over the world. Former NXT champion, Bobby Roode changes the game.
Bobby Roode, former NXT champion.
Everything that I touch and everything that I do is big box office.
I'm
going to take SmackDown Live to the next level. Glorious DDT! Because everybody knows that Bobby Roode is simply...
The glorious one, Bobby Roode. James says what in the locker room.
Come in. Just hear me out, please. Just hear me out.
I know you despise me right now, and you should. I messed everything up out there again. And you're right. I am a freak. And I am subhuman, and I probably belong in a zoo. But Carmella, please, I'm begging you. Just give me another chance, and I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't get in the way anymore. Listen, I'm begging you. I'll do anything you want. Anything. Just give me.
From now on, we're doing things my way.
Carmella kissed James Ellsworth. And slapped on his face, on his face. Carmella kissed Ellsworth and slapped on his face. Ellsworth is confused. And now, Nakamura.
I can't believe I actually envy James Ellsworth right now.
It's the main event time with Nakamura.
Here's a matchup that promises to be hard-hitting. Shinsuke Nakamura with an opportunity, perhaps at the WWE title. Shinsuke Nakamura on his panel with Jim Hall at SummerSlam. And if he can get away tonight, he can secure his opportunity next month at Hell in a Cell.
Nakamura has relentlessly been pursuing what he believes is his destiny, and that destiny is being
Nakamura, big entrance, big charisma, and ringside. He's ready for his matchup against Randy Orton.
But the one key thing he said to me is, I know what Randy Orton's best shot feels like, but Randy Orton has no idea what my best shot feels like. John Cena, the free agent, knows exactly what Shinsuke Nakamura is capable of. That was the man Nakamura had to think to earn his opportunity at SummerSlam. Cena said it himself, Nakamura hits hard. Coming up next, who will go on to face Jim Hall for the WWE Championship at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton for the first time ever. Next.
Nakamura versus Orton.
Immediately following SmackDown Live only on the WWE Network, it is 205 Live, a fatal five-way elimination match. Melanie, Amore, Alexander, Neeson, Kendrick, who will challenge at no mercy for the Cruiserweight Championship against Neville. Find out.
I think the winner will be in Tomorrow match, but I don't follow the 205. I hate it to the league.
Who will face Jim Hall for the WWE Championship? Shinsuke Nakamura, primed and ready.
St. Louis, Missouri.
250 pounds.
Randy Orton, the one.
There's been so of pure frustration for Randy Orton. Imagine being the victim of arguably the greatest upset in the history of sports entertainment.
It's time to upset the level of James Bryan beating Matt Chip. But Randy Orton is clawing his way back to the top of the mountain.
Orton's got to put that frustration behind because of that man out there waiting in the wings. What an incredible matchup here tonight. The question is, who will have won this opportunity at the WWE Championship?
Randy Orton, ladies and gentlemen, in the arena for this number one contenders matchup against
Shinsuke Nakamura for this matchup. Randy Orton, he was beaten in front of his family, in his hometown of St. Louis for the WWE Championship. All he has thought about is getting back to the WWE title.
Look at the icy gaze of the Apex Predator. I can assure you all of that is in the past. Randy is laser focused on one man only right now. And that's exactly how it's got to be, because Nakamura can turn your lights out in a hurry.
So two ironic similarities between both these two superstars. Randy Orton, the youngest world champion in WWE history. Shinsuke Nakamura, the youngest man to hold the IWGP Championship. Randy Orton, 15-year veteran here in WWE.
Orton in the ring with Nakamura.
Just celebrated his 15-year anniversary of the first time he ever stepped foot inside the ring.
Interesting contrast of styles in this one.
The winner will face Jinder Mahal on NXT at NXT.
The submission specialist. And then, of course, you got classic Randy Orton, who sits
The prediction is for Nakamura.
And Grace, you mentioned earlier that RKO last week was more of a mental shot than anything from Randy Orton.
Absolutely right. Randy knew he had nothing to gain as far as victories last week on SmackDown Live, but he is inside the mind of Nakamura. Randy is as dangerous in your head as he is in the ring.
And up above here, in his skybox, Jinder Mahal and the Singh Brothers.
Skybox, Jinder Mahal watch the match with the Singh Brothers.
Next month at Hell in a Cell. In Mahal's words, it's the RKO versus the Kinshasa knee strike. Here we go. Hashtag Orton versus Nakamura here on SmackDown Live.
Orton versus Nakamura.
Both of these superstars have so much respect for what the other is capable of. I can assure you, both have been studying film, preparing for this match in particular.
Now, Orton in control.
There's so much unique
Orton is control of the match, but Nakamura reversed the situation. And now Nakamura in control.
So quick!
Missing Nakamura.
Listen, it's his quick strike offense. Nakamura smiling.
Well, Nakamura came prepared for battle.
Nakamura's
no surprise to what Orton just attempted. But can Orton execute the RKO remains to be seen.
Corey, I think it goes back to last week. Nakamura knows what the RKO feels like. He was the recipient of the RKO, so maybe unlike another superstar, he may not fear it as much. I'm trying to back Orton into the ropes here. Nakamura.
There we go. This is what Nakamura is known for. It's the ability to stay calm in battle.
Oh, wait a minute. The Viper ready to strike and trying to hold Nakamura. But Shinsuke breaks free.
Nakamura needs to show Orton maybe a little more respect than he anticipated. This one's going to be good.
The match continues, ladies and gentlemen, in a few seconds. Nakamura versus Randy Orton, the main event. Remember, the winner will face the modern-day Maharaja on NXT. Last year, NXT was a pay-per-view of Raw, and today, this year, for SmackDown Live. In a few seconds, we're back in the arena to continue this match at the main event between Nakamura and Randy Orton.
Only on USA.
Randy Orton in control of the match.
Randy Orton tied up here with Shinsuke Nakamura. Which of these men will earn an opportunity at the WWE Champion? Jinder Mahal looking out from his skybox.
See the modern-day Maharaja flanked by the Singh brothers watching this action. Curious as we all are to figure out who will challenge next, but right now, it is all Randy Orton.
And the midsection connects with the top rope there, thanks to Orton. Now the cover here and a kick out. The forearm in the face.
I think this is what Randy Orton wanted to do.
Nakamura in trouble, headlock by Randy Orton.
Nakamura, stay away from the strikes.
Randy Orton in control of the match.
Face of Randy Orton enjoying his path perhaps. They're getting back to the WWE Championship.
Listen, you can't discount the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura has become a battle-hardened warrior here in WWE. I mean, in the span of over a month, facing John Cena. Challenging for the WWE Championship.
Lighting out and down goes Orton, and Orton's got to collect himself outside the ring.
Orton's rocked. You can see the glazed over look in his eyes. That elbow from Nakamura caught him flush on the jaw.
Such a dangerous striker is Shinsuke Nakamura, and now, oh, call to the right. That's the block force there for Randy Orton. No. Tripping Nakamura. Oh, sending him into the disc.
Randy Orton versus Nakamura.
Out of the way, guys. The way this night's been going, anything can happen.
Oh, but tell me twice.
And Nakamura in trouble against Randy Orton.
Down into the announce table. Orton
smashing Nakamura on the announce table. He also on the smartphone, the telephone, one of the
how dangerous it is down here at ringside.
Now Orton slides into the ring. Very close. Watch this one more time. Spine right in the desk.
The one thing we know about Randy Orton, when it comes to the WWE Championship, win at all costs.
I'm watching the match in the skybox with the Singh brothers.
Earn the right to fall at my feet at Hell in a Cell next month.
Jinder's enjoying it because Orton and Nakamura are defending to destroy one another for the right to face it.
You enjoy it now, but you better be highly concerned whether it's
Nakamura is still in trouble against Randy Orton, but match is for Nakamura.
Oh, with a knee right in the midsection, trying
Nakamura.
Down goes Orton.
Orton is down. Both guys down.
So dangerous. If the first one doesn't get you, the second one will. And they'll keep coming until Nakamura takes you down.
Nakamura versus Randy Orton.
Justin Bull right in midair and drops Randy Orton.
Just when you think you're in the clear, Nakamura has other plans.
And here comes Nakamura. The boot right there on the jaw.
A boot by Nakamura on the jaw.
This is what the Viper needed to avoid.
Nakamura is on fire.
In the zone and starts striking.
Another one.
Too impossible to stop.
By Nakamura. A third one for Randy Orton.
Of Randy Orton. Oh,
the fourth one. Randy Orton stopped Nakamura, but Nakamura took already the other feet.
Sometimes it just feels like the strikes never stop with Shinsuke Nakamura.
And they don't
Nakamura on fire against Randy Orton. Nakamura is in control in this time.
Putting Orton right in perfect position.
Martial arts.
Right to the ribs.
Orton got to be gasping for breath right now.
And Nakamura can earn the title.
Only to down by Nakamura now.
Close call, but things are going from bad to worse for the Viper.
First time ever matchup between these two.
First time ever matchup between
Nakamura
these two.
looking for the exploder. What's the reverse exploder? Orton hammering his way out.
This is all for the right. For an opportunity to challenge for the WWE Championship, which Orton has held many times before. Nakamura claims it's his destiny to hold for the very first time.
The 13-time champion of the signature
The
backbreaker.
13-time champions and the also wrestled the 2-time NXT champions Nakamura. Nakamura versus Randy Orton, ladies and gentlemen.
Got to be thrown up. Nakamura
Nakamura on the top.
It's not throwing off now. Might be about to be destroyed. Nakamura on the top rope.
Randy Orton attacks Nakamura.
Big Randy Orton.
Even off balance, Orton so
Both guys on the top
aware
rope.
of all of his surroundings.
Orton trying to superplex with Nakamura.
Orton lands this is over.
Yes, a superplex by Randy Orton on Nakamura.
A spine-shivering superplex, and now Randy Orton trying to gather himself.
1, 2, on to count. Just a 2, baby.
Just barely. Nakamura had to feel his destiny slipping away. Randy Orton nailing a massive superplex. But how much did Orton take out of himself to deliver?
Well, again, we said it before, whatever it takes, if it does mean sacrificing your body in the process, so be it.
Cause I know,
Nakamura down opposite side of the ring. Randy Orton, the first man to his feet.
Nakamura in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Or
But
is he?
still on fire.
Yeah, I take that back.
Come on! Says Nakamura to Randy Orton.
Talking about mind games. Oh, Nakamura psyching
Nakamura.
out. Oh, face first into the canvas. Oh, and here comes
Nakamura in control this time.
the Viper right in. Oh, right back on top here on
Nakamura still in control against Orton.
skull. Oh, look at this, just running through the target.
Nakamura still in control of the match.
Looks like he's incensed. And Nakamura's back up. Could we see it? Could it be time?
Randy Orton's man, Nakamura on 2 count for Randy Orton. Only 2 counts for Randy.
I can't believe it. And Nakamura's momentum just got diverted. Put to a screeching halt, Saxton. There was no diversion. Nakamura almost got defeated right then and there. Oh, now old Neil caught Nakamura with this.
Randy Orton.
And a staple of the Vipers offense. This time, no escape.
Randy Orton in control of the match. But I still with my prediction.
Time for the RKO. Nakamura's down. Randy Orton wants.
Randy Orton is ready for an RKO.
One point to strike. Oh, counter into the armbar. Nakamura.
Submission maneuver by Nakamura and Orton. Orton in trouble. Orton in trouble. Orton in trouble against Nakamura.
Nakamura with a transition here on Randy Orton into the triangle. Nakamura needs to pass Randy's shoulder under his chin to complete the submission. And try to pull down on his right leg is Nakamura. And look at Orton grabbing out here on Nakamura's neck. Orton maybe has a slight power advantage here. It's the only thing keeping this submission from being executed. Is Randy Orton going to tap out perhaps? He's temporarily avoiding disaster.
Nobody says Randy in the arena.
And Randy Orton looking to get. Oh! Knee right to the spine of Orton. That is 2 times Nakamura's counter. The RKO. It could be time. Shinsuke's going into that place. Could it be time? Here we go. Kinshasa!
Kinshasa by Nakamura. 1, 2, 3. And yes, I win my prediction. Ladies and gentlemen. Nakamura is the official #1 contender for the WWE Championship match on Hell in a Cell.
Looking down from the skybox, the WWE Champion has learned who he will face at Hell in a Cell. The modern-day Maharaja must enjoy his reign while it lasts because the King of Strong Style, after this battle, is ready for war.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nakamura wins the #1 contenders match and will be the #1 contenders for the WWE Championship match on Hell in a Cell. And next week, don't forget, 3 championship match next week. United States Championship match, AJ Styles versus Raven Ninja maybe. If Division get the Open Challenge. Natalia Women's Championship match versus Naomi, and the Usos in a Street Fight Championship match against the New Day next week on SmackDown Live, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Owens in the backstage with the corner.
Kevin, listen, Shane's been suspended. That's the end of this. It's done.
Daniel, we're just getting started, buddy. Listen, next week I'm going to make SmackDown Live my personal playground and your personal nightmare. And guess what? Legally, there's not a damn thing you or anybody can do about it.
Maybe not, but there is someone coming next week to address this whole situation.
Oh man, did I make Shane's wife mad? Shane's wife coming next week to handle this?
No. Mr. McMahon.
Another news will be Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, on SmackDown Live. Another big news about next week. Nakamura celebration for his victory in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I remember you the news of the night, the latest news from SmackDown Live. First of all, Nakamura is the #1 contender on Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship match. Shane McMahon is undefeated suspended, and next week Vince McMahon will be on SmackDown Live. Next week will be 3 championship matches. The Usos vs New Day for a Street Fight Championship match. Natalya vs Naomi for a Women's Championship match, and Open Challenge for an AJ Styles Championship match, and maybe against Tony Dillinger. Thank you for watching this.